Good morning, ladies. My name is Jez, and welcome back to What If Ben 10 was, or no, not Ben 10. Zuko had the powers of Ben 10's aliens. So where we left off, they were, Zuko was in class 1A. So does Zumi and the rest of them. Reason why I am not going to go over what Zumi went through is because, one, it is similar to canon to Zuko, but with Zumi instead. And when I say that, it's not because she was quirkless. I'm saying she has she goes from, or she has two quirks. And then, of course, Zuko was very proud of himself. So he was smiling. Or actually, he was thinking about it. And before we go on, this is a question for you. Do you guys want me to do a what if Zuko and Ochako had a kid? What if? The it would be quite fascinating to do because you guys really like how Ochako she blushes at Zuko every time she thinks about how she's in love with him, but she doesn't want to accept that. That so yeah. So that's what the one of the questions was. So now, ready? Begin in about. Okay. So now, Zuko is doing a ball throw, as he did this when he was in his forearms form. As when he says, ready? As he transforms into this big buff guy with 4 arms. As his shirt was a little bit small, so they almost see a 16 pack because how buffed he is. So he grabs the ball, or Mr. Aizawa hands him it, as most of the girls blushing, as he throws it, and it landed in outer space. And I forgot to mention in the last video, whoever was born with a quirk and the ability is a top priority because it is legendary rare. Basically no one was born with ability and everyone basically born with a ability or a quirk, not both in the same body. So, yeah. Forgot to mention it in this what if, so, yeah. So, Zuko got infinity. As he goes back, he used his own, like, the speed. Like, he was battling, like, gonna race against Tenya. As Tenya says, in this whatever, he's like, he is the same thing in canon, but he, in this one, or in the race, in that race, is like, I'm still gonna win. And Zuko used his transformation into accelerate. As they're like, take your mark, get set, beep, go. As the Zuko made 52 laps around the whole field under 3 seconds. Or 1 second. As they're like, or Tinya's like, man, you go from, yeah. So then, yeah. So then after all that stuff, the is transformations. Most of it, them are like, or most of the students are like surprised. Is that this kid he got A plus on all of that. Yeah, he even surpassed everyone. So now, and plus, Zumi does not know that the boy that she wanted a date was actually her brother. It's from me to you guys. But Zumi will find that out from her parents after. So then, now the USJ goes similar to canon, but the Zuko tells Mr. Aizawa to, I'll help. Let me help. I'll take care of that, Nomu. I'll beat it to ignition, because I know his weak point is. If you destroy the brain, the whole motor function doesn't work. So, unless you want to try. And Zuko is talented like that. And Mr. Aizawa says, okay, kill him in the brains. Okay. That's his weak point. So then he jumps down. He does all that stuff. Then the pro or the high-end villains are climbing up the wall or climbing the stairs as the students are panicking because they're stuck, because the door is tight, and Zuko has a crazy thought as some of the quirks are like the one, that sugar quirk that I forget his name, but the one that makes you really buffed. Well, he ends up trying to hit it, but it can't budge. So Zuko ends up cloning himself as he went over and tells them to cover their ears. As he opens his mouth, as those sonic screech that you see before you, focused on one point, and yeah, the door exploded. As he says, "We will cover her, when all of you escape." As Zuko uses his echo voice to make like shockwaves, as every villain that was trying to come close, they all fell backwards. And keeping them distracted long enough. As for some other ones that are really close, some of the Zukus transformed into like forearms to do hand-to-hand combat, throwing villains around like a little ragdolls. Some have the accelerate so that the keeping them contained. As yeah. So then basically, let's say one of the villains had a laser quirk and they aimed it at him, at one of the clones, and shot off as he absorbs the attack and threw it right back. As yeah, everybody was like, as All Might chose Ub and the because they didn't need to call, because when Zuko uses his full blast, like his full voice, it woke up everybody and Mr. Zawa, or no, All Might could tell that if someone's using their quirks. Yeah. So then All Might takes one of the pens, the main Echo or Zuko says, "Leave it all to us." Got it. As they all went back into his body. As they both like, or he runs out of there. He made sure that so all of the like clones went back into the original, and he ran off, joined his friends. As Mr. Ozawa was there, but for one of the clones of like that turns into forearms, has battled against the Nomu and won. As he picks up Mr. Ozawa, jumps towards the front door, as he tells him that he'll be alright. He overused his quirk. Trying to kill that Nomu off. As Zuko or forearms went back into Zuko's body. And yeah. So, some of the people are happy that Zuko is like in charge when coming to hand combat. So, yeah. Most of the students are sitting on the sidelines. And Zuko takes more like credit. But so then yeah. So yeah, then a whole like Pedia wanted to, because they knew that someone had a sound quirk, as they all like, but they didn't know that it was Zuko. As is like, let's say Blood Hero was there, but Zuko tells Blood Hero that you guys deserve more credit. Like, all of you. Because all of you saved our lives. Okay? I'm just... As how you doing, 13? Well, the good, thanks to you, my way. If you haven't done that, I would have had probably really bad, like, back things. Yeah, so Zuko used his ability to basically, but he also, when I forgot to mention, this is one of the reason why I ever, or those people that have both like quirk and ability, they also unlocked a unique skill, forgetfulness. So basically makes everyone forget, but he also changes their memories so that what really happened was like Zuko in that instance he did use it to change to making the pro heroes did it. But All for One was not fooled by the trick. As he grins, who's this young man? He is Zuko Midoriya. Why? His ability allows him to shapeshift into any alien transformations and using their power. It's quite formidable opponent. But if we trained him under people like me, then you'll get more depths to what's going on. Yes, but with your creating no moves from left to right, how about you need some of his DNA? Like, imagine having, what is that alien called? Forearms. Having forearms is strength. Echoes is, or that hound power. Just imagine how many possibilities. I see what you're trying to say, but that's not all Zuko has. What do you mean? He has the same thing as his sister, but instead of controlling fire, he controls every element, like earth, wind, fire, air, water, electricity, everything. Like, he could turn gravity upside down and we'll be in space. I see. And so with those two, created a new skill for him called Forgetful. Am I right? Yes. It allows the user to change the memories of everyone. As he smiles at it, Zuko, you might be the powerfulest person in the entire world. As All for One grins at that. As he just imagined having the entire army of the advanced alien soldiers that are under his control. That makes him, that's why Zuko is the most valuable person. Because that's not all that he gets. Most of the, whoever has a quirk, ability, and skills has now activated the stage 5. Some of you might not know what I'm talking about. Stage 5 means ultimate. It's like the ultimate stage where no one ever passed. But Zuko just passed it. He's pretending to be quirkless, so that's one material. quirk, that's 2. Ability, 3. Skill, 4. And then the 5th one that he unlocked with all that was 5 is he goes ultimate. Yeah. So you could see him going from this Echo to being the ultimate Echo. Yeah. So, yeah, Zuko ends up becoming such a powerhouse. Because usually no one passes those. So he passes them. And so he's more powerful than anyone. Could you believe that? It's crazy what he can do. So then the doctor, or the one that was in the last video, I think about the a store, checked on him again, and he had another old machine, and when he looked in, Zuko, or that he was surprised what Zuko is now capable of. Zuko, or he tells Zuko that he has all the materials to boost up into the non-tier. Yeah. Because he uses you said you didn't have a quirk, so that was one of the requirements. The number 2 was having no quirk. Number 3 was have the ability and skill. So those 4 materials bumps up you to the highest one that no one even passed. Usually, yeah. So then Zuko was at sports festival. The Zuko, yeah, is so powerful that Mr. Aizawa says to him that how about you will be in that booth then, and we'll do commentary for it. Okay? So, yeah. He does that. And Zuko used his to make sure that to keep his power level hidden. But only one person that does know that he has a secret ability, that is All for One, or actually 2, the Quirk Doctor and All for One. And yeah. So then Zuko is so yeah. So the internship, let's say he goes for Endeavor, because Endeavor hasn't really seen his power. Like, because some people say that he has the crazy abilities, so they ended up testing, or he ends up testing the abilities in front in at the sports festival before. So he asked them, "The show's not over yet, folks. Let's see how powerful Zuko against Endeavor." As Zuko was already prepared, as he's transforms into Heat Blast, or he uses Heat Blast as powers, as he says, you have no chance to win against me. You know why? Because of one thing. You have a quirk, I have the abilities. And Zuko, or as all Endeavor's like, okay, ready? Begin. As Endeavor makes the first move, but then Endeavor does like throws his fire spear. As Zuko's finally his quirk kicked in, and as Zuko puts a flame, but then he looks up and sees the fire arrow got like made a giant U-turn aimed right at an Endeavor. Yeah. Like he was like trying to, and when he lit or he points his finger up, everyone around him starts floating in the air. Like, why are we flying or floating in the air? As he points it down, as he used a fireball. You know how like Sangan or not Sangan, that Undertale's villain or that skeleton guy. I forget his name, but he ends up using like the same thing. They didn't realize that he is controlling the elements. As he spins an Endeavor around, that made everyone else spin around. As they're like, as Zuko looks around, as he says, "What the heck?" As he points down, as everybody like falls onto their like butts, as they're like, or he's like, "What the heck?" As Zuko uses his fire attack, and yeah, Endeavor got, or when he points aims his finger at Endeavor, as Endeavor's entire body got flung out of the ring. Like he said, "I didn't do nothing to you." But why as he points to this way, as Endeavor is coming back to the ring, and he ends up going to the other side of a ring. Yeah. Zuko is like, am I controlling gravity? I really need to have this checked out. As he stops it, as everyone was like, what the heck, man? You went from being a so then he ends up won that fight. And then so then he goes to Recover Girl. In this alternate timeline, Recover Girl has the same thing, same experience with quirks and abilities, as she like basically does the same thing what the Quirk Doctor did, as Recover Girl's eyes widen because she'd never seen a person that controls everything around him. As Zuko tells him that, or no, Zuko tells her that the my ability allowed me to transform into into the aliens and using their types as and their size to basically yeah. So then the Recover Girl says, I see. Tell me more about this. Guys, you who were quirkless, but then you gained a new quirk, so that would be, and then the ability. As Recover Girl says, what skill do you have? What do you mean by that? Don't mind me asking, but what is that? Well, skills is based off of the person's person's like what they want to have, but they can't have it. And skills are like cooking and all that stuff. But what is yours? Well, as the one thing, as he tells, I don't know how to explain it, but they said, or not, they said, it makes other people, it's like the power to change everybody's like minds, like what they like memories. As Recover Girl looks up, you have forgetfulness. It makes everyone around you that you can control to make everyone else forget. Or you can change their memories so that the. Did you use it the first time? Yeah. When I was at USJ, a bunch of news reporters were asking for me, but then I changed their memories to, and basically it was the pro heroes that. I see. So that, or so you also gained the ability, and the fifth ability. What is it? Well, it's called ultimate ability. It's super high tech one. No one passed that level. That's why Zuko, as Recover Gold is serious, you are our top priority. So, yeah. And let's say me, the Principal Nezu, heard that as the, and plus to, or no, Zuko's is, and Zumi's father. But then when Zuko, or when his father heard that he already had a quirk, so Recovery Girl writes down everything, and yeah, so Zuko, or so then the meeting thing, all about Zuko, and when they all heard that he is that guy, he is those legendary rares. So they, yeah, keep so watchful eye out. So then when when Asashi took that meaning, as when he heard that his own son is was one of the kind, that legendary rares thing, he ends up freaking out. So he didn't pay any attention to Zuko. That was his first mistake. Like, as he starts to tear up, as all the pro heroes are like, "Why are you crying?" That boy, that boy that we're talking about, yeah, is actually my son. I can't believe I didn't realize that he was the legendary rares. He was born with all those powers. Well, as he is trying to... Why? I know that as Zuko, or as him says that after this meeting, then I will go to Inko and tell, or when instead I say Inko, but he says his wife, but yeah, so he says that he goes up to his wife, tells her the truth thing, as so then the internship thing. And he is the respected by, of course, Hero Killer Stain. If I try to find his picture, but so Hero Killer Stain heard all about Zuko, how he is a top priority, and most of the villains says that. Did you heard? Well, All for One told us that the number one target is Zuko Midoriya. What's so special about him? Well, they said that he, those legendary rares? Yeah, did all of them get wiped out? Because of stupidity? Yes. Yes, one of them, the most dangerous one of them all, is Zuko. So, yeah. So, Hero Killer Stain slice him down, except for one, as he says, what's about this kid called Zuko? Well, I don't know the details, but he has the powers to shapeshift into any alien in forms, and based off of what we heard from All for One, the symbol of evil, he has multiple stages. That makes him legendary rare. And, yeah, so then all that stuff, and yeah. So then the internship thing, as him tells Inko that about their son Zuko, and at first she was like, "What about that quirkless?" Huh. As Zuko, or as Ashi tells her that he wasn't quirkless at all. As that got Inko's attention, as he sat down with her and told her what he is. or what the Zuko is. He's the one of those legendary rares. And when Inko heard that, she sobbed her eyes out so much that she could not believe that her own son is the most powerfulest person in the entire world. Because whoever is legendary rares, they are most powerfulest person or people in the world. Like they could control space, time, reality, mind, soul, power, everything, all the way to past the destiny and everything else. AKA, Zuko is basically more powerful than Saitama, that kid that you see on your screen, and every overpowered Zuko from What If series. So, yeah, All for One wants him as power. And when All Might heard that Zuko had this much power, he kind of felt bad for him because Zuko doesn't know, or no, All Might needs to train in his body to make sure he doesn't ling. And then the pro heroes want him to be their top priority. And then the other villains want him to do like their villain works. Yeah. It's a 4-way standoff. Like pro heroes from, or like teachers wants to teach him how to use his powers the right way. And the pro heroes that are like Endeavor, want him to get killed. Because if the villains get their hands on him, it's all over. So, yeah. So then, the Camp One, they ended up doing, like, I'm skipping the camp part, but they ended up kidnapping Zumi, instead of Zuko. And I forgot to mention that fateful night when Zumi went back to her home. And Zuko was at the dorms because they implemented the dorms earlier. Asashi and Inko tells her that, you know, that young man with green hair similar to yours? Yeah. Well, he is actually your brother. As they're like, or she didn't realize that Or so Inho and Nasashi explains the whole like you and him were born in two different times, and they said times. So basically, so then, so she wants to just straight up hug her brother, and her because yeah, as she remembers, he always like when he or she remembers him kicking the grenade back at the villain Ellen Ellen and so yeah, and so then Woodsman could tell that he yeah. So then Anne Bunny Girl, she isn't like part of those like the bro heroes that wants to kill Zuko. Oh, but instead, you know what she wants to do? She wants to produce more of those. Like, to train them to do, like, good stuff. So then, yeah. Midnight and Mountain Lady thinks the same thing. Yeah, it's scary. So please wait for part 3. So bye.